Who would have thought that at 78 years old, I'd be sitting here, openly discussing a topic that, in my youth, was buried under layers of silence. Back then, conversations like this weren't just rare, they were non-existent. Anything remotely related to intimacy was locked away, hidden behind closed doors, spoken of only in hushed tones, if at all. But look how the world has changed. And thank goodness it has. Today, we can talk about these things openly, without shame, without fear, but always with respect. And let me tell you, learning about the human body, that never gets old. I've always been a curious person, always asking questions, always wanting to understand more. So when I noticed this subject surfacing again and again, I thought, why not talk about it? Do people truly understand how this impacts their health? Because whether you're young or old, sexuality is part of who we are. And the well-being it brings, that knows no age limit. So before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever stopped to consider the impact of ejaculation on the body? And I don't just mean the act itself. I mean what it represents. Physically, emotionally, even mentally. So many people think of it as nothing more than a fleeting moment of pleasure, but the truth is far more complex. Maybe you've even wondered, is it good to do it every day? Could it be harmful? What happens if you stop altogether? These aren't new questions, but the answers? They might surprise you. What fascinates me is how this topic stirs so much curiosity, yet at the same time, so much hesitation. Because let's be honest, for generations, we've been fed myths, taboos, half-truths. I still remember hearing stories when I was younger, warnings that if a man wasted his sexual energy, he'd grow weak, lose his vitality. It wasn't uncommon to see older men carefully calculating how often they should finish, as if their strength depended on it, as if desire itself was something that could or should be rationed. But today, we know better. The human body is far more complex, far more resilient. And yet, even now, science continues to uncover new insights, revealing how this simple act, or the conscious choice to withhold, can influence everything from longevity to emotional balance, even disease prevention. It's not just about pleasure, it's about health. So before we go any deeper, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, how well do you understand your own body? How do you view your sexuality? And most importantly, how do you feel about this conversation? Let's try to approach it without judgment, with curiosity, with an open mind. Because if there's one thing I've learned in my 78 years, it's that knowledge is freeing. And when it comes to health, including sexual health, it is never too late to learn, to grow, to improve. Now, let's talk about something that often goes unnoticed, yet deserves our full attention: prostate health. It might sound like a topic for another day, something distant, something for someone else to worry about. But trust me, this small gland plays a far bigger role than most people realize. And yes, it's directly linked to our central question: can frequent ejaculation actually be beneficial for your health? Curious minds, much like my own, have turned to science for answers. And the results? Fascinating. Researchers have found that an active and regular sex life might not just be about pleasure, it could also be a key factor in maintaining prostate health. But how exactly does that work?
Think about it.
The prostate is responsible for producing a significant portion of seminal fluid, the same fluid that protects and transports sperm. When sexual activity is frequent, this fluid is produced and expelled regularly. But now, imagine if that process were suddenly halted for a long time. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay updated with all the amazing content. Share it with your friends too. Let's grow this community together. Also, we've now got Super Chat, Super Stickers, and Super Thanks activated. So if you've been enjoying the content and want to see even more amazing, high-quality stories, here's your chance to join the inner circle. On the side, you can click that shiny Joins button up top and pick the level that works for you. Most importantly, your support will give me more time to create better, bolder, and brainier content for you. There is no pressure, but you'll officially be my favorite person if you join. Yes, I play favorites now. Thank you so much in advance for considering it. You're the real MVP. Science has started to uncover something truly fascinating. Stagnation might not be as harmless as we once thought. Recent studies have shed new light on the relationship between ejaculation frequency and prostate health, even linking it to a reduced risk of prostate cancer. Research suggests that men who ejaculate more frequently, specifically more than 21 times a month, may have an extra layer of protection against developing prostate disease.
But why?
What's happening inside the body that makes this routine beneficial? The leading theory is that regular ejaculation helps keep the prostate's internal environment in motion, preventing the accumulation of potentially harmful substances. Think of it like a self-cleaning mechanism. When semen is expelled regularly, it reduces inflammation and flushes out unwanted compounds that could, over time, contribute to cancer. Multiple studies have analyzed this phenomenon, comparing men with varying frequencies of ejaculation, and the results. Those with a more active sex life were significantly less likely to develop prostate issues. And there's more. Frequent ejaculation appears to be linked to increased production of antioxidants and other protective compounds that safeguard prostate cells. In essence, what has long been thought of as a simple act of pleasure might actually serve a deeper biological purpose, one that extends far beyond the moment. Of course, health is never about just one factor. A well-functioning body is the result of multiple elements: diet, exercise, genetics, all working together. But the connection between sexual activity and prostate health? It's certainly something to think about. And let's not forget the mental and emotional benefits. That post-release wave of calm? That's no coincidence. Ejaculation triggers the release of prolactin and oxytocin, hormones responsible for relaxation, emotional bonding, and an overall sense of well-being. And let's be honest, feeling relaxed and at ease isn't just good for the mind. It has a ripple effect throughout the entire body. Stress melts away, blood pressure stabilizes, sleep improves. In short, a well-balanced sexual life doesn't just serve the moment. It nurtures long-term health. But what about aging? Over the years, the body changes, and so do hormonal functions. Some might assume that a decline in sexual activity is just a natural part of growing older. But studies suggest that maintaining an active sex life can actually help preserve not only physical health, but also overall vitality. That doesn't mean everyone should aim for an extreme lifestyle. This isn't about numbers or expectations. What matters is understanding that sexual health is just one part of a much larger puzzle, one that contributes to overall well-being in ways we're still discovering. Now, before jumping to conclusions, here's something important to consider. There is no universal ideal frequency. What works for one person may not work for another. The key is to listen to your body, to recognize that allowing it to function naturally can bring benefits far beyond temporary pleasure. But what if someone chooses not to ejaculate as often? Could there be risks? What actually happens when the body holds onto that sexual energy for extended periods? That brings us to a practice that has sparked curiosity and debate for centuries: seminal retention. At its core, this is the intentional act of avoiding ejaculation, either during intimacy or for prolonged periods. Some men pursue this for physical, mental, or even spiritual reasons, believing that conserving sexual energy can enhance focus, boost vitality, or even improve performance over time. But is there truth to that? And more importantly, what does science have to say about it? But does seminal retention actually work, or is it just another trend fueled by myths and personal beliefs? In a world that constantly promotes instant gratification and pleasure, the idea of deliberately avoiding ejaculation seems almost counterintuitive. Yet, there's no denying that this practice has its passionate advocates. Men who claim that by holding onto their sexual energy, they feel stronger, sharper, and even more in control of their masculinity. But here's the real question. What does science say? Is there solid physiological evidence to support this? Or is it simply another idea built on anecdotal experiences? The truth is, research in this area is still limited. Most of the claims in favor of seminal retention come from personal testimonies rather than clinical studies. Some men report feeling more energized, mentally clear, and less fatigued when they reduce their ejaculation frequency. They say it heightens their focus, keeps their sex drive strong, and even enhances their productivity. On the other hand, medical professionals argue that holding back for too long can lead to discomfort, increased tension, and even involuntary nocturnal emissions, where the body naturally releases excess semen during sleep. In other words, the body has its own way of maintaining balance, and forcing retention might not be as beneficial or as natural as some claim. Then, there's the emotional factor. For some, the ability to control ejaculation brings a sense of discipline, power, and self-mastery. For others, it leads to frustration, anxiety, and a buildup of unnecessary tension. And that's where things get tricky, because at the end of the day, the real goal of any health practice should be to enhance overall well-being. If something creates more stress than benefits, does it really serve its purpose? Still, seminal retention continues to intrigue many men. Some see it as a way to break free from societal pressures surrounding sex, a form of detox from overstimulation. Others believe it enhances their sex life in the long run, giving them better control over their emotions and impulses. Whatever the reason, what truly matters is that each person understands their own body and what works best for them. There's no universal answer. Some find clarity and vigor in restraint, while others feel healthier and more balanced with regular release. The key is to listen to your body and not force it into a pattern that doesn't align with your physical and emotional needs. Now that we've explored both perspectives, ejaculation frequency and retention, it's time to discuss one of the most critical yet complex aspects of sexual health: the harmony between body and mind. And this is where things become truly nuanced. What benefits the body doesn't always align with what benefits the mind, and vice versa. When it comes to ejaculation, achieving this balance is even more delicate. Regular ejaculation offers undeniable benefits: stress relief, improved prostate health, deeper sleep, a stronger immune system, and even a boost in mood. This is largely due to the release of hormones like oxytocin and prolactin, which promote relaxation and a sense of well-being. However, when ejaculation becomes excessive, it can lead to physical fatigue, a temporary dip in testosterone levels, and even emotional exhaustion, impacting motivation and overall mood. On the flip side, seminal retention, deliberately avoiding ejaculation for extended periods, is praised by some as a way to boost physical energy, sharpen mental focus, and enhance self-discipline. But where does the balance truly lie? How do we determine what's best for both the body and the mind? That's the real challenge, and it's a question worth exploring further. So, can this practice of seminal retention truly enhance mental clarity and emotional control? The answer is complex. While some men swear by the benefits of holding back, saying it sharpens their focus and strengthens their sense of self-discipline, others experience tension, frustration, and even discomfort. This can manifest in various ways, like nocturnal emissions or pain in the testicles, creating a physical and emotional strain that isn't so easy to ignore. In the end, whether you choose frequent ejaculation or longer periods of retention, both approaches come with their own set of advantages and challenges. The key is to find what truly works for your unique body and mind. Each person has their own rhythm, and the secret lies in respecting your body's signals, seeking that delicate balance between sexual and emotional well-being. But here's the big question I want to leave you with. What's been your experience with this? Have you noticed how your body responds in different circumstances? Are you curious to explore how your sexual health could influence your overall quality of life? Here's my advice. Live with wisdom, love, and respect for yourself. No matter what path you choose, make sure you do it for you, not because someone else told you it's the right way. That's the lesson I've learned after all these years, and I hope it helps you find your own truth. If this discussion sparked something in you, don't miss the opportunity to continue diving into this fascinating topic. Hit that like button to help share this valuable knowledge with others, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. Share this video with your friends, especially those who could benefit from this important conversation. And, of course, we really want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from. And for those of you who want to dive deeper into optimizing your sexual health in a natural and simple way, don't go anywhere. A link to our next video will pop up on the screen shortly. Click it to continue this enlightening journey with us.